Volume 1, Number 9. As Michael was in the meeting in progress, the conference was about to begin. He was doing the quarterly report. Well, everything's looking good, everybody. Our quarterly report is now official. We have jumped in numbers, and I'm going to keep it very brief. Let's just put it to you this way: with everything that Miguel has gathered and everything that Lisa has gathered along with Michael Carrington's report, I'm happy to say that we have jumped in numbers. With the opening of our new garage and everything that has happened since the time of the renovations, we've seen incredible numbers. We will only see more growth and improvements. And I want to personally thank Stephen Clark. Everybody claps. Thank you, Stephen, for the improvements that you made. Stephen was officially named the Vice President of Operations. I dropped the name CEO of the company because I'm no longer now what I call the CEO, but now the president of the company. We did that change because he's now 25% into this. He is officially an investor in this company. So we want to thank him personally. Now, with that said, I know as we get closer to Christmas, you know that the Christmas party is going to be an event. It's going to be a bigger event this year because there's going to be bigger bonuses, bigger incentives. So I'm going to give you a heads up. If you do better this year and you see a bigger bonus, thanks Stephen for that, because he's the one that's going to be in charge of the bonuses this year. HR, of course, is the one that's going to give the final approval, but Stephen is the one that's going to make the final call. He's going to be helping HR. He'll be floating between HR and the office. As far as other hires, we have hired the temps. They are now officially employees. I want to thank those who are new on board. I want to thank those who are new to the company. Please keep your name tags on your right side. You know, the uniform is white Oxfords and black pants, so that you know, black shoes, slip resistant, because of the traffic that goes on in between the garage and here. That's the standard. Of course, the mechanics wear their typical blue uniforms with black or navy blue pants. So uniform standards is important. Keep your uniforms intact. If you'd like to wear a skirt, that's fine if you're a lady. Anyone that has any questions about uniforms and things like that, just go to HR. HR handles all these things. So we have staff issues cleared up. We have all that. Christmas bonuses. I just wanted to tell you ahead of schedule what's going to be ahead for this. The bonus will increase this year. And you want to thank Stephen Clark for that. He's the one that came up with this idea. So the Christmas party will probably most likely be the second Saturday in December as scheduled, and it'll be in Conference Room 3. And as usual, we are reserving it now so that we have that room reserved. Waterfall Hotel as usual. So we're doing all this now so that we're ready for Christmas. I know it'll come really fast, so we got to prepare now. Any questions? Well, we're looking forward to Christmas bonus, said Nick. I know you are. How's your management position good? Very well. Thank you for the position. I like my position very much. Thank you, Nick. Anybody else have any comments, questions? If you have any comments or questions for me, you can stay after. Otherwise, everybody else is dismissed. Okay. Oh, Stephen, do you have anything you want to add? No, nothing to add. Everything's going good. So far, so good. I like what's happening. The quarterly report is going to be posted in HR. If you have any questions or ideas or suggestions, there's a suggestion box there at HR as well. Otherwise, have a great rest of your day. Thank you. My wife is in the middle of writing a book, so I have to go to an event today. She's speaking at a public event, so I will be out of the office today and tomorrow. If anybody needs me, I'll be working remotely throughout today and tomorrow. I may stop in just to double check on how's everything going with Lisa Miller. Everything's going well. I like my new position. I'm settled into my job. I'm doing very well. Lindsay's taken over my position. Lindsay Smith, that is. Okay, Lindsay, so how's everything going? Everything's going great. I like it. I like what I'm doing. I like the customer service end of it. We have a customer service. Yeah. In fact, one of the things is that we added an automated system to the program. Instead of picking up calls all the time, we have an automated system that picks up the phone calls just in case. So if we miss calls, the automated system picks it up. So that's a new addition. Thank you, Stephen. That helps a lot, alleviates a lot of pressure on the staff. Any other offers or questions or opportunities that people need to know about? That will be handled in next week's meeting. Okay? Thank you very much. Now I got to get to this event. I will talk to you all later. Thanks again. And I'll talk to you all later. Okay. As Michael wraps up the meeting and briefly talks to Stephen. Stephen, that was a very brief meeting, but I got everything I needed to get done. So the quarterly report looks very good. This is exactly what I need. So can I keep a copy of it? Yeah. So what do you think of the numbers, Stephen? I think this is exactly what I was looking forward to. I wanted to see where my money's going. Yeah, exactly. So Stephen looks over the report. Well, it looks like we're doing good as far as progress. That's exactly what I was hoping to see. So you see where your money's going? Well, we still have money in the bank, so that's one good thing. Yeah, that is. That it's always good to have money in the bank. Yeah, definitely. Okay, Stephen, I got to get to this event. My wife is just finished up writing a book, and she's at a public event speaking in front of her peers. So I'm going to be at that event, and I got to be there and meet her there at the event. Oh, she's a therapist, right? Yes, she's the therapist. She's been on leave because of, well, obviously, maternity leave. Is she going back? Well, not yet, but she's at a speaking event. She wrote a book, a therapist book about a simpler life. She renamed it A Simpler Life, about therapy and, recovery. So we'll see how this goes. Okay, great. Let me know how it goes. I'll give you a summary of it. How about that? That's great. I'd love to hear more. So Michael heads to this event where she's going to be speaking in front of her peers, other therapists. It's a small event, but it's nonetheless a speaking event. So he meets Grace at the speaking event, and Grace is dressed up with the baby. Now that the baby's almost a month and a half old, it's good to have the baby out. And she has the help of none other than Carrie and Jackie. Jackie came along because she wanted to hear Grace speak. The kids are at home with Marcy and Karen. They had double help this day because of all the load that they both had. Okay, so you ready, Grace? Yes, I'm ready. I just have note cards. It's going to be a brief event. It's not going to be very lengthy. It's just about the book and it's about my story. I'm not going to get into much of my story as much as I'm going to get into about the book. It's a short book, as you know. I couldn't write a whole large novel, but I just wanted to touch on some important aspects of therapy after trauma and what people do to implement recovery. So I just made it really a short book because of the time restraints, being pregnant and everything, and being on maternity leave. So a lot of people that I worked with at the office are going to be there. Oh, that's great. So I'm going to be speaking here in a few minutes. Okay, great. Sounds great. So I'll just sit in the front row. Is that okay, Grace? Yeah, that's fine, Michael. I love you. I'm so proud of you, said Michael to Grace. Thank you, honey. I love you too. As Michael holds the baby in the front row with the baby carriage with him in stroller, he's basically waiting to hear what Grace has to say. And as the MC of the event announces Grace to the podium, Grace enters the podium. Hi, my name is Grace Smithton, and as you all know, I've been on maternity leave, and I got to finish my book, and it's now officially ready to be, well, let's just say it's in progress to be published. But I do have some books here that have already been pre-made and pre-ordered, and I want to be able to hand out to my peers a pre-ordered selection of these books. While they're not published, they're ready to be read. So there are going to be some books here available for you to read. It's called A Simpler Life. And what I meant by it is that after trauma and abuse, life is not simple for people that have survived abuse. It's a way to get back to simple. And what it is that after years of trauma and abuse, a lot of times what I've learned throughout my experience is that it's hard to get back to a simpler, easier life after trauma and abuse. And it's a technique that I learned about is that after you survive trauma and abuse, what tools help you on that road and journey. And it seems like it's a long journey, but it does get back to a simpler life. And I hope by you reading this book that the different type of therapies that we use, like EMDR, art therapy, working with ceramics, working with different types of art projects, the simple projects, not complex, not hard projects, but simple projects, help in art therapy, music therapy, the different frequency therapies that we use to help people cope with their daily stressors or triggers, to help them cope with life problems, that we get back to a simpler life. And I want to thank you for giving me a few minutes to share. And here are some of the books I'm going to hand out. And everybody applauds for this small, simpler speech. And it's just like her book. It's a simple speech for a simple life. Thank you so much for your time. And they all stand up and clap for Grace. Thank you, Grace, for that speech. Michael's so proud because it was a simple speech. It's exactly what you needed to say, and you said it in so many simple words, said Michael. As Grace held Mike in her arms, thank you for being so supportive of me. It took a long time to get this little book in hand. While it's just a little book, I hope it's something simple and easy to read. Because I know I can't write a novel right now. I'm just exhausted at the idea. But I always like to finish what I start. You did. You accomplished something, and it's great. Now it's off to the publisher and whoever publishes it from here. Well, Michael said, that is always the tricky part. You know, it takes a long time to get it to that point. But we got it so far cover to cover. It took a lot of money to get this done. Yeah, said Michael, I know. I saw the receipt at Amazon. I got it. I got the bill. All right, Grace, let's head home. Okay, as Grace shook hands with their peers before she left, she was congratulated on a job well done. Every one of her peers said, when are you returning back to work? I'm just going to give it some time until I can recuperate a little more. And as the baby gets a little bit older, I'm on sabbatical until the baby's a little bit older for the time being. But I assure you, I will be back. Well, I can't wait to read this small booklet. It looks so inviting, said one of the therapists. I appreciate it. Take the time to enjoy it. It's a simple read. That's great. That's exactly what we need, a simpler life and a simple read, said another therapist. Great, excellent. As Michael and Grace exited out of the doors, they went ahead and went home. That's exactly what you needed. So how did everything go at the quarterly report? It went great, said Grace's husband, Michael. You did so fantastic, Grace. I'm not really sure I really can compete with what you just did. I'm thinking more about you right now, said Michael. Well, listen, we both did a phenomenal job today. We both accomplished something. Yes, we did. We reached our goals. We've reached a milestone, both of us. I say that we should celebrate. Where do you want to go to lunch? I don't know. Maybe somewhere, I don't know. Just think of something. Why don't we go down to see Johnny Knox and Vanessa, his wife? Okay, let's go down there. Besides, they have a baby. They don't mind. I hope he doesn't cry. You mean Michael? Yeah. Uh, he's sleeping right now, so we're doing pretty good. As they head down to the Firehouse Pub, they run into Nan. Hey, Nan, I'm coming in to see my nephew, Johnny. It's so good to see you, said Nan. Oh, Nan, we didn't expect to see you here. Well, I'm off today. My son's coming in. Oh, that's great. I hope to get to meet your son finally. Yeah, he works a lot of hours. He's out of town. He doesn't work in this area. Oh, that's great. I hope to meet him finally. It'll be nice to meet him. Well, as they sit in the booth with the baby carrier, they sit down and relax. So Johnny comes up and says, Vanessa will be with you in a minute. How you doing, man? I'm doing great. We're thinking about where to go to lunch, and the first thing to our mind was, come here. That's a great idea because we like having you here. And as Vanessa shows up, how you doing? How's the baby? Oh, he's so beautiful. So we have a Michael too, and you have a Michael now. Yeah, that's exactly right, said Grace. How you doing, Vanessa? Well, our baby's growing up so fast. It seems like just yesterday I had him. Well, are you going to have more babies, said Grace. I don't know. It's just up to Michael at this time. Oh, I don't know about having another baby right now, said Grace. I think 5 is enough for now. What about you, Vanessa? I don't know. I haven't gotten that far yet. I think 1 is enough right now. Okay, what are we going to have for lunch, said Vanessa. Okay, well, we're kind of in the mood for steak salads. I think we're going to do the steak salads today. Something light. Okay, 2 steak salads, and what are you going to have to drink? 2 waters. Okay, can we make that bottled water? Yeah, that's fine. So I'll be out with the bottled water here as Johnny's talking to Michael. So what do you have planned? Well, we have to have that stogie. Oh, that's right. I'm long overdue for that. Well, I have one right here. If you want to smoke one outside, let's do that. So Michael excuses himself from Grace as Vanessa and Grace decide to talk, and they smoke a stogie outside to celebrate Michael's birth. How did you decide to have a stogie? He said, my family, they always have stogies around. So they smoke a stogie, a cigar, to celebrate Michael's birth. Thank you for being there for me. This is a good time to just smoke one. Listen, I don't smoke very much, but this is appropriate time. It's a good time to celebrate life. It's like a wind up to all the things that are going on. Yeah. Well, listen, I don't want to smoke anymore, but I need to get back in there so we can finish our steak salads because we have the kids to pick up. We decided that we want to spend time with the kids the rest of the day. I can understand that. as Michael goes back into the Firehouse pub, Joey goes up to the front to cover the front of the desk. So Michael goes in and finishes his steak salad along with Grace, and they enjoy the steak salad immensely. They are ready to check out their order, and Grace says, "We're going to tip Vanessa handsomely. Let's do that." So they overtip Vanessa. Vanessa says, "You are so generous. Thank you so much," as they cash out and head out. "It was nice talking to you, Johnny. Always. Thank you for this stogie." "Yeah, you're welcome, man. It's good to bond with you." "Goodbye, Nan." "Okay, it's nice seeing you. Is your son coming?" "He should be any minute." "I hope so." As the kids were being dropped off at home, as they were rolling into the driveway, just in time to see the kids, they had a chance to catch up with the kids that just came home from school. It was a good time to catch up. "Oh, wow. So how was school?" "Everything was great," said Elijah. "Really learned a lot." "I have to get my homework done, though, Mom. I have a lot of homework." "Okay, son. If there's anything you need, just let me know." Jenny said, "Mom, I have a lot of practice to do in my dance class, so I'm going to be a little busy practicing my dance moves. Do you want to watch?" "I would love to watch." So she practiced some of her positions and her ballet moves. "You're doing excellent," said Grace. "I'm watching." She's holding the baby. As Melissa and Josiah show up, hugging Mom and Dad, it's so nice to have the kids. As she sat on the couch with Josiah and Melissa, they were playing with their toys. It was just a good time to have some family time, as the nannies got to take a break for a little bit. They were also in the middle of shift change at the same time. "Ooh, it's nice to relax, Michael, isn't it? The kids are relaxing. It's nice to play with the kids." As Michael was playing with Josiah and Melissa was hugging Michael's leg. "It's so cute. It's so wonderful. It's really become a simpler life," as you said, Grace. "It really is exactly what I hoped and I dreamed of. I couldn't imagine the life I had at one point. Now it's so far away from me," said Grace. "You've really helped me change my life. I'm so happy. I've never been more content with the way things are going, Michael. I'm so content with where things are at. I don't want it to change." Miss Yokushoda comes in. She says, "Did I overhear that the kids are studying?" "They're studying and doing their homework?" "Oh, absolutely. They're doing all their homework now so they can have time with our family." "What should we have tonight? Is there anything special on the menu?" Just then, Grandma and Grandpa come in. "Grandpa Tom," said Elijah, "I'm just finishing my homework." "Grandma Adrian, hello." "Oh, hello," said Mrs. Yokushodo. "It's so nice to see both of you. It's a good time to regroup and have some time with the family," as Josiah and Melissa cling to Grandma and Grandpa's leg. As the baby is just napping and sleeping through the whole thing, it's so nice to be a family as they all crowd in the family room. "It's so enjoyable," said Mrs. Yokushodo. "We're all together as a family. This is so perfect. Let's take pictures," as they took pictures. "Oh, by the way, I have a story to tell," said Elijah. "Remember our broadcast on Planet Radio? Well, it got so many hits again that, Mom, I have to tell you, we did it. We did it. It went viral again," said Jenny. "I don't know how we did it, but we did it. We made it. We made the broadcast so I don't know what to say," said Elijah, other than to say, "Mom, we are a success. We have a success story to share." "Yes, we do. Maybe we should write a book about it," said Elijah. "Elijah, if you want to write a book about it, you have my blessing. I'm done writing books for a while." "Yeah, I think so. It's so true," said Michael. Mom wrote 2 books and she's tired. She wants to just raise kids for a while. Isn't that a great goal? Yeah, that's a great goal, said Jenny. This is exactly right, Mrs. Yokoshoda said. I am so proud of all the work you've done. You've done exactly what you said you'd do. We should go down to the Japanese tea house while the weather's still warm. Wouldn't that be nice to go down there and reflect and go down to the oasis? Yeah, let's do that. Let's go downstairs. As everybody walked downstairs to the Japanese tea house and onto the plank, they walked in the walkway. As they saw Nan from afar, Nan said, "Is it okay if I bring my son over and introduce you to my son?" "Oh, that would be wonderful. My son is named Jason. He's a state trooper." "Oh, it's nice to meet you, Jason." Likewise, it's nice to meet you too. Enjoy the oasis with us. We're taking a walk around the pond. As Jason enjoyed the pond. "Are you married, Jason?" said Grace. "No, I'm single. I'm still young. I have a lot of work ahead of me. I'm very busy." As Nan introduced Jason to all the people, it was so nice to meet Jason as Jason and Nan were watching the pond water and the lily pads. "Isn't this nice?" said Nan to Jason. "It is really nice. It's wonderful." As they all got to enjoy the time that they shared together. As one group and as a neighbor, it's so beautiful. What a beautiful experience this is. It is so wonderful. As it was winding down and they knew it was time for dinner, Nan and Jason had to leave. They were going out to dinner later on in the evening. "It was nice spending time with you, Jason. It was nice getting to know you," said Grace and Michael. "Yes, likewise," said Jason. "You have a beautiful family, and it's big." "Yes, it is." "Okay, good night, Nan. Good night, Jason." As they wound up the night, they were getting ready for a light dinner. "What are we going to have?" Well, Miss Yokoshoda decided that she had already made sushi. "Oh, we're going to have sushi again tonight." "Yes, I made sushi earlier, so I figured why not make some rice and sushi?" Since they had already had a light meal and the kids were hungry, they decided to just go ahead and have some sushi. "I figured that you would probably be hungry, so I decided to cook early." So they all enjoyed sushi and rice for dinner. It was a wonderful idea that she had cooked ahead of time. So they all had rice and sushi for dinner. And it wasn't that bad because Melissa's favorite meal is sushi and rice. As they enjoyed the sushi and rice, it was filling and it was appetizing. They also had some leftover steak teriyaki that was left from the last time they went grocery shopping. This is a great idea. I'm so glad you decided to do this. As they were cleaning up and things were getting later into the night, they had spent some more family time playing with the kids. As they got the kids ready for bed, it was time to get the kids ready and in for the night. "Okay, it's time for bed, kids. It's time to wrap it up." "Okay, Mom." As they got their pajamas and showered and ready for bed, they said, "It's going to be a long day tomorrow, so we need to get started early." They got into their beds and said their bedtime prayers with Miss Yokoshoda and Grandma and Grandpap. Grandma and Grandpap were leaving early for the evening. "Good night, kids. We'll see you tomorrow. We'll see you tomorrow. I love you. I love you too." As they said their bedtime prayers, Grandpap sent them off with a bedtime prayer. "Thank you, Heavenly Father, for this night. May the children be protected and watched over as we enter into our restful sleep tonight. In Jesus' holy name we pray. Amen and amen." As the kids were all tucked away, they went to sleep very quickly. It was an easy, quiet night as Grace gently put the baby to sleep after breastfeeding the baby and cleaning the baby up. Michael was already asleep as he had to get up early for work the next day. It was a quiet evening as Miss Yokoshoda was watching her show on Hulu. Everybody rested into the evening. As bedtime had been the close of the evening, it was a beautiful starry night as the moonbeam sparked into the night sky.